Are you serious? Are you serious, folks? NATO is going to show a massive military muscle in Norway. And this is rattling the nerves of Russia. Reports coming out of Europe. I've been to Norway many years ago, actually. Was sent there on a business trip, actually to help a factory buy a piece of machinery, a huge machine. And they sent me there to quantify it. What? But actually, it was a great machine. But anyway, I went to Oslo, Norway. Wonderful people. The salmon were jumping. A beautiful sky. I mean, the mountains and all. Wonderful people. But here's what's going to happen. 50,000 troops. 50,000 troops will kick off NATO's biggest military exercise since the Cold War. This is taking place this week on Thursday. Massive military might being the muscle is going to be shown, and Russia is on edge. Matter of fact, the Trident Juncture 18, which runs until November the 7th, is aimed at training the alliance to mobilize quickly to defend any and all allies that would come under attack. The head of NATO, the Allied Joint Force Commander, U.S. Navy Admiral James Fogo, said that the exercise was intended to show NATO is capable to defend against any adversary, not a particular country or anyone like that. But Russia, which carried out its biggest ever military exercise in September of this year, in the Far East, has not been officially identified as the intended adversary, but it is on everyone's mind, folks, since the 2014 Ukraine crisis and basically the capturing of Crimea and annexing that portion of Ukraine. Now, Russia doesn't represent a direct military threat to Norway, according to the Norwegian Defense Minister, Frank Bakken-Jensen. But in a security situation as complicated as we have today, an incident elsewhere could very well heighten the tensions in the north, and they want to be prepared, everyone in the alliance, in order they have to avoid any unfortunate incidents. Now, the exercises come after President Donald J. Trump has repeatedly complained that other NATO members do not contribute enough money to the 69-year-old NATO alliance. Although Defense Secretary Jim Mad Dog Mattis reassured the allies of America's ironclad commitment earlier this month. Saber rattling? Maybe. But while the exercises will take place at a respectful distance from Norway's 198-kilometer border with Russia in the Arctic, Moscow has expressed anger over these maneuvers. And Russia has already very touchy over the fact that independently of the Trident Juncture 18 exercise, the United States and Britain have been increasing their troop presence in the Scandinavian country of Norway to get acclimated in case there's combat in the chilly Arctic arena. Tensions between Moscow and Washington have flared in recent days after Trump announced he was abandoning the Cold War era nuclear treaty, a move which Russia warned could cripple global security. When at full strength, 700 U.S. Marines will be on rotation in Norwegian soil. And the main NATO countries are increasing their military presence in the region near Russia's borders, while Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said, slamming the saber rattling, quote, "Such irresponsible actions are bound to lead to a destabilization of the political situation in the north, to heighten the tension," she said, vowing Moscow would take the necessary retaliatory measures to ensure its security. And under President Vladimir Putin, boot scooting Putin, well, the Russian army has already beefed up considerably in the Arctic. Matter of fact, the military air bases have been built or refurbished, and a new radar and anti-aircraft missile systems have been installed. In addition, the backbone of the Russian Navy, the Northern Fleet, is due to receive 5 new warships, 5 support vessels, and 15 new aircraft by the end of the year, according to Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu. Military in display. Russia's military strength has pretty much returned to what it was during the Cold War. And according to Francois Hilsberg of France's Foundation of Strategic Research, quote, in a way, NATO is also in the process of returning to what it was. In other words, the Cold War is back. And with Trump saying that the nuclear regulation or the nuclear agreement they had with Russia is over now, I mean, this takes off the gloves. Everybody's now going to start building up more nukes, more missiles, more high-tech capability. And with Trump putting the pressure on the European nations to step up their game and not leave it all on the U.S., they're going to do that just to prove that he's wrong, that they are doing their part. And so these exercises involve NATO's 29 members plus Sweden and Finland. They are nothing less imposing with substantial means when they're deployed. 50,000 troops will be backed by 10,000 vehicles, 250 aircraft, 60 ships, including a U.S. aircraft carrier. The core exercise area is 600 miles from the Russian border. So it really shouldn't be a threat to Russia, and Russia really should understand that there's no way NATO's not going to step up their game after Russia did the largest military exercise in its history. I mean, really, okay? So, but obviously the tension is rising, and with the Democrats blaming Russia for meddling in the 2016 election, and with Mueller running around with his investigation, Trump's going to continue to push back at the Russians, and the Russians are going to continue to push back at the Americans. Well, it's really about world security, world balance, and it looks like the same old issues are still present today. We've swept them under the rug a long time, but now there's a bump in the rug, guys, and the issues are still there. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. You do not want to miss today's live broadcast. Starts at 12 noon Eastern. Today's program at 12 noon Eastern, we will be live at my backup YouTube channel. I'll put the link below, even when you read down in the comments, right there it'll be. You just click on it and it'll take you right to the backup channel. We'll be live at 12 noon there. I'm also live at New Livestream on Roku satellite television through New Livestream. Also my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. Also Periscope, you can watch it live. And you can even wait and watch the archive of the show right here on our main YouTube channel. Don't miss it. We're living in the last days.